we would like to say that we are extremely grateful for his donation and for the excitement that this is bringing to the Institute. The Institute for Astronomy is taking care of the mountains of Hawaii, both Haleakala on Maui and also Mauna Kea on the Big Island. And these telescopes are bringing here some of the best people in the world, and in particular we put a large emphasis on young people, on students, and so we have one of the largest graduate programs here, and the donation would actually help to attract more of the best graduate students, and in particular I myself as a director still have a lot of students that are interested to work with me, but I have so much other things to do that I don't have really the means to support these students. So with the donation, I would hope that we could get 2 or 3 graduate students here that could be dedicated to working with me in particular. IFA does not have any endowed chairs so far, but we have one of the largest faculty group in the whole US astronomy. And endowed chairs are actually a means to bring some of the best faculty members here, because it gives flexibility that otherwise is not existing. And so matching up with the excellent possibilities that we have on the mountain, we are always striving to get and keep the best people here at IFA, and the endowed chair will actually significantly help that. We have access to all the telescopes on both mountains, so this is 12 or 13 facilities up on Mauna Kea and also new facilities on Haleakala. Some of these belong to ourselves, but I think even more important, we have access to the best telescopes that also belong to other people. And so a lot of prize-worthy work has been done. For instance, the Nobel Prize that was just given to astronomy had a significant impact from the Institute of Astronomy in Hawaii. And also several other prizes, like for instance the prize to Dave Jewett for discovering the Kuiper Belt was also significant. I mean, his work was all done here. And so we are contributing to the understanding of the universe, but I think even more important, we are exciting young people to think about getting into STEM educations. And so while it is very hard work to study physics and technical fields, the field of astronomy is kind of an entry pitch, so people are getting in easier. And that is, I think, one of our most important duties for society, is the education of young people. So as astronomers, we cannot make real presents, we cannot give stars away or other things. But what I would like to tell you is that there's one event coming up which is actually very significant and might become important. We have discovered a comet which is very far out in the distant solar system, and it's still relatively faint. But in spring, coming year, around February, March, it will become visible to the naked eye. It has been discovered by the Pan-STARRS telescope up on Haleakala and will be called the Pan-STARRS comet. And it will be in the mind of everybody, hopefully, and regarded as a kind of present back to you when you look at the sky to this comet. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much for your generous support of programs here at UH. It's people like you who really make a difference with your generous gifts. This particular gift will be used by a team of scientists here at UH and Seymour, the Center for Microbial Oceanography Research and Education, to promote our research and education missions. In addition to doing pioneering frontline research in microbial oceanography, our center has developed innovative tools and techniques for educating the public at large. Microbial oceanography is a study of the tiniest organisms in the ocean, the microorganisms. These organisms dominate the biomass of the ocean. We often think of whales and fishes as being the largest amount of living material, but instead it's the very tiniest of organisms. And these organisms are very important for the ocean's economy. They provide food for most of the food web, they harvest solar energy, they degrade most of the pollutants that we pour into the ocean every day, and they are fundamental for the biodiversity of our planet. Most of the unknown diversity is in the microbial world, And we are trying to understand that diversity in the Center for Microbial Oceanography. We do this by conducting experiments at sea. We sample the ocean. We have laboratories that use model organisms, and we put all of this information and new knowledge into mathematical models to try to predict what the future states of the ocean are under climate change. So in essence, microbial oceanography is a study, as we like to think of it, from genomes to biomes, from the DNA and the genetic material of life all the way up to living ecosystems like the North Pacific Gyre.
I've been with the community colleges for 42 years now, starting as a faculty member and eventually moving into administrative positions. I firmly believe in the access mission for community colleges. We create the opportunity for people to get the benefits of higher education when many of them probably didn't realize that they could or should get that. More recently, we've been focusing on not just access, but success, making sure the students who come to us make it through to graduation, make it through to transfer, to get that baccalaureate degree if that's their path. A scholarship like the $1.4 million helps make that possible for so many students. It is particularly important that they see that the transition from a community college, where we are affordable, where they get a lot of support, to the baccalaureate institution, where things are a little bit more expensive, that they can make that transition and move on to get that baccalaureate degree. So thank you on behalf of all of those community college students.
Well, I'd like to say aloha and mahalo for helping us outreach to the community through our efforts in geriatric medicine. Having an endowment that will in part support our faculty creates a tremendous means by which they can focus on some academic pursuits, that is, building training programs, building research programs to help the general public that otherwise would not be as doable because much of our faculty's time and effort has to be supported through their clinical efforts. That's a good thing in that they continue to see patients and work with patients, but if all of their time is consumed by delivering patient care, the ability to be innovative, creative, and to do new things to help elders age gracefully and in a more healthy condition will be impaired. So having this endowment allows us to do some great things. Well, we have one of the oldest populations in Hawaii. Interestingly, we have also one of the oldest physician populations living in Hawaii when you look at average ages for our practitioners as well as those who they treat. We do have, fortunately, a number of individuals who experience relatively good health late into life, but there's more we can do there. And being able to deliver the care that they need when circumstances are most challenging, oftentimes when family assistance is not readily available, is important. We're blessed here at the John A. Burns School of Medicine in that we have one of the relatively few departments in the university that have been devoted to the aging population. So geriatric medicine, although an important discipline, is not one that all medical schools have. And indeed, the minority of medical schools have a department of geriatric medicine. Such a department brings together specialists who understand the aging process, understand the needs, health-wise and social-wise, of the aging patient. So having such a department that is available to train every one of our medical students is a unique opportunity. We're blessed to have that, and we're blessed that those in the community who've seen the great work that is done are willing to step forward and contribute and allow us to expand the offerings that we provide to the community.
One of the premier programs within the community colleges is culinary education. We have almost 800 students enrolled across the state in 6 different programs, and the faculty and the students do a great job. Some of our best chefs in Hawaii are products of these programs. But we've always not had the opportunity for them to get advanced training without going away to the mainland. So we created this vision of, on the slopes of Diamond Head, building an advanced culinary institute that would lead students to get more skills in culinary, but then also the business skills that they need to be successful as restaurateurs in the hospitality industry. That project is happening after many years of waiting, thanks in part to gifts like yours that support the development of that site. It's going to be fantastic on the old Cannon Club site, and we would be honored to name the dining room in recognition of your gift. So thank you for your support of culinary education in Hawaii.
And I want to thank you on behalf of all of us at the Lion Arboretum for your incredibly generous gift in support of our plant conservation programs. As you may know, the Hawaiian flora is one of the most unique in the world. Of the 1,200 or so native plant species that we have in Hawaii, fully 90% of them occur nowhere else on the face of the earth. We also have the dubious distinction of having the most endangered flora in the world. The US government has listed 350 of our native plant species as threatened or endangered. And so we have a great challenge ahead of us in safeguarding our precious and fragile natural heritage. It's critically important to save these native plants for many reasons. One is that natural ecological systems are at their best in terms of providing food, shelter, natural resources to the birds and other animals that co-occur with them. But also they deserve to be saved in their own right. And any number of these species were known to the early people who lived here. And some of these have become very rare in a very short amount of time. And they're critically important, not just to the ecological health of Hawaii, but also to the cultural health of Hawaii. Many of these are used in various ceremonies for making lei and other kinds of cultural activities. And if we lose these, then Hawaii and Hawaiians lose something of their cultural integrity. Some of these no longer occur in the wild. We have 5 species that we house here that do not occur in the wild. The only place you can find them is here at the Lion Arboretum. And one of our major goals is to get these back out into nature where they belong. Now, your gift to the Arboretum will be truly transformative. Right now, we are storing in tissue culture of that 350 rare species, about 160 in vials like this. This allows us to store thousands of plants in a relatively small space. But as you may see, we are fairly cramped here and we're running out of space to house these one-of-a-kind species. Your gift will allow us to achieve our vision and mission of safeguarding all 350 of those species identified by the US government, and more too, if space allows. Your gift will allow us to really make an impact for the future of Hawaii in terms of plant conservation for future generations. Our vision has been, by the year 2020, to have at least 500 species in tissue culture, along with seeds that we can use for future restoration into nature. All of this housed in a new state-of-the-art facility. And your gift will allow us to achieve that vision. Not only that, it will allow us to be more compelling as we speak and engage in the importance of what we're doing here. We at the Arboretum, and dare I say the entire state of Hawaii, is greatly thankful and forever thankful to you for your leadership, your example, and for this incredible generosity. Mahalo, nui loa, and happy holidays.